Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well today. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the Covenant-specific Legendaries coming in 9.1. And we have now almost an entire list full of Legendaries. There is one still missing, I believe, which is the Warrior Kyrian one. But other than that, every other Legendary currently is data mined and yeah, we're looking into it. So let's go through class by class. I have a good knowledge of the legendaries that my class uses and how important they are, although I don't know everything. So I do apologise if I get any information wrong. But I just want to talk about kind of the genericism, is that a word? It is now. Of each of the legendaries and how likely they are to be used. So let's get into it. So Death Knight. Kyrian is... When Shackle the Unworthy spreads, instantly gain a rune, and your damage is increased by 2%, stacking up to 10% for 10 seconds. So, quite a simple one. Shackle the Unworthy. This is why I like it. This is a Wowhead guide, by the way. Really like it because they've put in a lot of the legendary effects as well, or the Covenant ability effects. Really, really nice. So, it spreads, reducing the damage they deal. It was very, very good for blood at one point because you wanted the vial as well, especially during like bursting weeks. It was fantastic. So, sorry, necrotic weeks. It was fantastic. So, it was already quite good, especially for blood. Whether the fact that it gives a rune and your damage is increased slightly is enough to make it worthwhile, don't really know. I think other effects are currently just better, such as the Necrolord one. So, speaking of Necrolord, let's have a look. Abomination Limb's duration is increased for 4 seconds, and the frequency it grants Bone Shield, Rime, Runic Corruption is increased by 2 seconds. Additionally, enemies pulled by Abomination Limb take 10% increased damage for you for 12 seconds. Oh wow, that is quite crazy, I think. The frequency it grants... Let's have a look. The frequency it grants at the moment is 3... so for Bone Shield, it's 3 charges instantly and again every 6 seconds. So it will give you a Rime proc or a Runic Corruption every 4 seconds. That's crazy. And the damage they do already during that is very insane. I think this is going to be a very strong legendary and could actually be used. The strength gain from Death's Due is increased by 1% and persists for 2 seconds. While standing within your Death's Due, this is the Defile-like Death and Decay Covenant ability. I haven't seen a DK use it yet, so I'm guessing this isn't going to make any difference, really. When Swarming Mist ends, it deals 1,346 shadow damage to 5 nearby enemies, healing you for 25% of the amount. That's pretty cool. But again, I think Abomination's Limb, for DPS, it's going to still be best, as far as I know. And the Legendary is probably the better one of all of these four. I think what they're trying to do with the class-specific Covenant Legendaries is give you the choice whether you want your spec to be played around your Covenant Legendary, your Covenant ability. And we see that kind of throughout the legendaries. We see that they're trying to indirectly buff the legendary, the Covenant ability to make it work. I don't think any of these are going to significantly change what DKs go based on the legendary alone. I think there are stronger legendary options, and I think the stronger legendary options mixed with a slightly weaker Covenant ability is just better overall. So let's go down to Demon Hunter. Blind Faith. A Legion Decree shatters 2 additional Lesser Soul Fragments and grants you Blind Faith for 20 seconds. For each Lesser Soul Fragment you consume while Blind Faith is active, you gain 1% Mastery and 10 Fury. So this really gives you a bit of like a Bloodlusty type ability, in that you're going to be able to drop this and spam Fury because you're going to be taking so many Lesser Soul Fragments that you're going to be able to get them back quite quickly as well. Going to be a lot of healing. This could be quite a strong one for them bigger Demon Hunter pulls. So yeah, I mean, this is quite an interesting one. I think this might actually get some use. I don't know. When fodder to the flames demon explodes, it inflicts fiery brand to 5 nearby enemies for 5 seconds. So that is a random proc chance, RPPM. And I believe it's like 1.5 a minute or something like that. It's not a very often proc, but it's interesting, the effect. The thing is, because you can't control it, I think that in itself would be an issue. So yeah, not a big fan of this one. The Hunt engulfs you with the Immolation Aura upon reaching your target, and you gain 3% agility for 12 seconds for each enemy hit. This is pretty cool. Gives a lot of snap threat for Vengeance Demon Hunters. I can't see Havoc Demon Hunters ever using this, but For Vengeance Demon Hunters, it gives you a lot of snap threat, could be quite interesting. And Agony Gaze. Sinful Brand deals 10% increased damage, and Eye Beam Fell Devastation damage increases the duration. Wow. So Eye Beam, if I'm not mistaken, is 8 ticks. Maybe that's with a talent. Maybe 8-9 ticks with a talent. So it's going to give you an extra 4.5 seconds duration on, I believe it's like an 8-second dart that already does a lot of damage, by the way. And if I remember correctly, Sinful Brand is applied when you do Metamorphosis. So it's going to be on everything, and Metamorphosis resets the cooldown of your Eye Beam, so you're going to have to increase the duration on everything. That could be pretty crazy for some bigger pulls. I'm not sure. I think this could be interesting. It could see some play. I'm not sure how it will compete with the other Legendaries. I know Havoc have 2 or 3 now that are quite good. But yeah, I mean, that's quite an interesting one. But again, how many of these have changed the way we look at these abilities? Fodder to the Flame is still bad. It is. The Hunt is still a strong burst cooldown with Snap Threat. It just is now a stronger burst cooldown with snap threat. Elysian Decree just is better at well, actually, I don't know, Elysian Decree actually does change it a little bit, because it gives it more than just snap threat. It's actually like a big of a damage cooldown as well. So yeah, I don't know. Druid, oh god. So for those of you who don't know, Druid was my main. I really don't like what they're doing with it at the moment in terms of boomy, but let's just get into this. So Kindred Affinity, we have talked about this in the past. Effectively, you and your partner, when bonded, it increases a stat depending on who you're bonded with, and that is doubled while you use your ability. Interesting, but it really restricts who you can go with. At the moment, you were already restricted to like hunters who could pop their cooldown on a 1-minute timer or whatever. You're now going to want to specifically go with a Kyrian Hunter because you want the most mastery possible, things like that. It's a bit strange, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. Unbridled Swarm. Adaptive Swarm has a 30% chance to split into 2 swarms each time it jumps. I think this should have just been part of the base spell, to be honest. I really don't like... I like the Legendary. It's never going to beat anything else. It actually says 60% at the moment. Let's have a look. So it does say 60%. And the last change was on the 13th of August. So currently it's 60%. Now, 60% could be more interesting, but again, I still don't see this is going to be... Like, the only person who's really going to want to use this, I can see, would be... I know there's a lot of Necrocats at the moment, but they're specifically going for, like, single target DPS withdrawal, so I don't know. I don't think it's going to beat out other Legendaries. I've actually tried the Convoke the Spirits one. Convoke cooldown is reduced by 1 minute, and we use an exceptional spell more often. The number of spells cast by Convoke the Spirits are halved and occur over half the original channel duration. So instead of a 4-second channel, it's a 2-second channel. Instead of 16 spells, it's 8 spells, sorry. And you're more likely to get a exceptional spell. The way they've balanced this with PvP is a lot of your exceptional spells can't actually proc in PvP. I can't get a Full Moon. I can't get a Feral Frenzy. I mean, I was watching someone earlier who was still able to one-shot people in a Convoke window. It's only that it comes around every minute instead of every 2 minutes. I still think this is crazy. Convoke, as a 2-minute cooldown, is a big cooldown, especially in PvP, that if it's wasted, it's a big issue. Now, with it only being a minute, it lines up very, very well for Feral. This could be an issue. I think this could actually be very, very strong and probably overpowered in PvP now. Sinful Hysteria. Each time Ravenous Frenzy is applied to its duration is increased by 0.2 seconds, so you can only get your GCD down to like 0.5 or something with everything, so yeah, you're not going to be able to keep this up infinitely, which would be fun. But yeah, I mean, it's going to really last a long time and hit like a truck. It could be quite interesting, but again, you aren't going to be able to use this with another Legendary. So something like a Guardian Druid who could make great use of this isn't going to be able to get much benefit. Rest of Druids, maybe. But again, I think their Legendaries are just better. What I'm noticing through all of these, and we'll keep talking about it as we scroll through, but what I'm noticing for a lot of these is that they pair really well with other Legendaries, but not by themselves. So we go back to Druid a second. You look at Sinful Hysteria, you pair that with Ursox Fury, that's a crazy combo, and you're going to see some amazing stuff when that happens. And I'm sure it will happen eventually, but right now it's not worth it. So next we have Hunter ones. I'm actually interested in Hunter at the moment. I've been having a little bit of a look at them. When your resonating arrow deals damage to a target, your party gains 10% increased critical strike chance for 10 seconds. Why? Stop making classic supports. How many times are we going to see logs now that have a group full of people with a PI, an enhancement chamois, a hunter, all of these different classes to be able to stack up and give lots of benefit by being in the same group as them, or whatever, or be a support class for them. And we see this furthermore with the priest one. There's a priest legendary that I'm really not excited about. But yeah, I'm not liking this. Bag of munitions, up to 2 targets hit by your death chakram are also hit by your explosive shot. That's quite cool, actually. I do like that one, but I don't think death chakram's even worth it at all, and they're not buffing in a lot of the covenants, so yeah, I can't see this being used ever. When Wild Spirits hits fewer than 5 targets, there's a 35% chance for each target to be hit. Oh wow. Okay, so if you use this against one boss, there's a 35% chance for each target hit to be damaged by Wild Spirits a second time. That's pretty crazy. That could do a lot of damage, actually, but will it beat out things like the Serpent Sting Legendary or the BM Hunter Legendaries? I don't think so, and therefore I don't think it'd be very good. Paired with one of them, I think it'd be very strong. Bonus kill shots from Flayed Shot cause 6 targets within 8 yards to bleed for 35% of the damage dealt by kill shot over 6 seconds. Okay. I'm noticing a pattern, and I think the pattern was that I think these legendaries were supposed to come out with dual legendary. I think that was the original plan. Obviously, because of COVID and whatever, and all the delays that have come around WoW, I think this is going to be paired off now and delayed, but I have a feeling they were supposed to come out at the same time, because this pairs so well with other legendaries that it's almost obnoxious. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this video here, and we're going to get into it in part 2 just in a second. So thank you guys for watching. If you are just watching this video, other than that, I will catch you in the next video. Goodbye, guys.